Hey guys, welcome to a quick little video. Today we're going to talk about the MeaZy gauge and how to install it and what to do when you first get it. So it's going to come in this cool little box. It's going to tell you that it's accurate within 1/10 of a bar. Can only be used with high pressure air or nitrogen, nothing else. So no CO2 or anything like that. This is waterproof, weatherproof. I mean, they actually submerged it in ice, put it in the freezer. So it's a big improvement over the old EDMU. And I think it's going to be a nice addition. It looks great too. So when you open the box, you're going to see that it may or may not come on, because sometimes these things have a little bit of tape underneath it. You're going to see that it comes with a little tool here. This tool is kind of interesting because the cleats are used to take the face of the gauge off, but it also can be used underneath here to hold a spare battery. So you can put that in your bag, use it to hold a spare battery in case you need to change it on the fly. So the two little cleats are going to line up right here, and you're going to use it to unscrew the gauge. If it doesn't come on, if it comes on, just leave it alone. But as you unscrew it, you may find that it has a piece of tape on the bottom here, and you're going to want to take that off. And then you're going to replace it by putting the numbers down, just like this. And you see that little post, and you see the little white clear the acrylic post right there in between the two contacts. That's where your post is, because see the two little contacts right here? They need to match up those two little contacts. So if you put it over here, they won't match up and it won't screw on. So it only goes on one way. So you're going to locate it. I think this is probably the worst part of this entire process. Notice how it didn't take any force to screw on. I think I may have the battery on upside down. I do. Battery needs to go like that. So you're going to just line up one more time that post with the acrylic piece. There you go. And just like I did, just take your time. I like to do these things in real time for you guys, so I won't edit that out because it is kind of a pain to get it lined up. But just take your time. Don't cross-thread it. Don't force it. You don't want to knock the little post off. Okay, so now I can see that it'll turn on. It's not going to read any pressure. Okay, so now let's put it on our gun. So we already have one on here, so I can show you what it looks like. I think it looks great. I love it. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to visually check your gauge, make sure it says 0. Then you're not going to trust it. You're going to make sure by seeing if you can unscrew your plenum right here. So let's pull the sleeve back and I'll show you what I'm talking about. You're going to unscrew your plenum. Okay. That ensures there's absolutely no pressure in here, because I do not want you guys doing this under pressure. Obviously, you're going to take your Knipex pliers. Knipex, I think that's how you say it. Snap ring pliers. Buy some good ones. These are the best by far. If you're going to buy a set, these are the best. Don't chimp out on these. Okay, so you're going to take and locate your snap ring plier, and you're going to pull that little dude off. Pretty simple. And I may have done that a couple times in my life. And you're going to push this out. And sometimes you need a little tool to kind of help you get it out, because it does have two little pieces. Now you're going to find there's going to be an O-ring that sat inside, and there's going to be this little case here. And this could be put on by a wrench, so it doesn't need to be. But let me give you a little word of caution here. The top part of here needs to be perfect. So if you do need to use a wrench to take these two pieces apart, what you're going to do is make sure you use a nice flat open-end wrench on these flats right here, and do not put this in a vise and squeeze it and try to get it undone. I've seen it happen. So if you mar these two pieces up where the O-ring sits, it will never seal ever again, and we'll have to replace this entire thing. There's no way to fix it. So you're going to take your new gauge. In this case, we can just use the one I already have. and you're going to screw it together. Oh, there's a little white Delrin seal. This also could be a 4x2. Either one will work, 4x2 or this little white Delrin seal. If it's a 4x2, it's going to be a 70 Buna. And you're just going to screw it down, and it doesn't really need to be wrenched super tight. Okay, a little tiny bit of lube on the O-rings, which you already have. We don't need to overlube it. And we're just going to slide this back into the butt assembly. Oh, wait a minute. We don't want leftover parts. So that guy's going to go in first. And just kind of make sure it sits flat. Put your gauge in like so and click it in. Okay, now if we look at the gauge, we see at the one side says bar, and that should be located at the bottom. And we can just spin our gauge like so until we get it. You guys see where it says bar right there? That will indicate the bottom of the gauge. So if you want to get your gauge nice and lined up on your buttstock, that's how you're going to do it. Now you're going to take your snap ring, and I find it's easier just to put it on the pliers first and give a little tension. And of course you are going to need outward snap rings, not inward. And you're just going to put it onto your assembly like so, and then push it. Do you hear that click? It's really important you hear that click. Before we gas it up, we're going to double check everything before we put any pressure to it. All right, and now we can gas it up, and you're ready to have a really cool gauge in the back of the gun. Of course, this can be used, in this case, not on this one, but we can just rotate this. But this can be used on your gauge plug as well. All right, so I hope that makes sense, and you can just keep this little tool with a extra CR2032, and that's how you use the MeaZy. If you guys have any questions or issues or whatever, just give me a call. You got my number. Text me or email me at sales@EDgun West. On behalf of myself and Ed, we appreciate all your support and hope you love the new gauge. Take care.